Hello everyone and welcome to the FPL Duo. We are here for the deadline stream for Game Week 35, and obviously it's a hot and stifling, obviously, day issue in the UK at the moment. Pretty hard to obviously keep cool. But before we get into this video, guys, make sure you give this video a like, leave a comment down below if you wish, and subscribe for more. Now, obviously, Huss is going to be a bit late for the stream as he has life commitment at the moment. I believe he's working, so he will momentarily finish there and join us shortly on his deadline stream. So he will be presenting his team and his plans also. But first, you have my team on the screen currently for this Friday evening deadline. So just top of my head, obviously, I have no idea what to do with my team. I've looked at it, pondered with it. I have one free transfer, but I'm not sure what to do. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe there is no more double game weeks announced from now till end of season. So I still have the free hit, which I was hoping double game week 36 was a thing, but it's going to be a single game week. So that does leave me in a bit of an issue on when to use my free hit and when to use my bench boost. But we'll get into that obviously through this hour or so, through this deadline. So let's have a run through for the team quickly at the moment. So Pickford in goal, back three of Hoyson, Milenkovic and Mikalenko. Midfield four of Rogers, Salah, and Burmo and Barnes. And the front three are Isaac, Marmoush and Cunha. And captain is currently on Isaac at the moment. I may even captaincy, I'm not very sure on, but I'm going to leave it on Isaac for the moment because of Brighton's relatively poor defence. Does mean that Isaac could be one candidate for that captaincy this week. And obviously the vice is on Marmoush in any case. Current bench selections are Vardy, Marson, Sarr, Munoz and Nuri. So I have benched the Crystal Palace squad there. But if there's any issues, they can come on onto the team. They have tough fixture against Nottingham Forest, which again is an important game for Nottingham Forest after obviously losing 2-0 to Brentford yesterday. Does mean they're sixth in the table, knocked out of the top, obviously 5. So this game is very important for them to win against if they want championship qualification. Because at the moment it's hard to call now who gets that Champions League spot. It's all up for grabs for these teams. But without further ado, that's the team obviously discussed and briefed. We'll move on to obviously the transfer plans because I think that's going to be the focal point for me in this deadline because obviously I have no idea what I'm going to do. I am looking to possibly use a transfer, but it's going to be probably on something like a goalkeeper. If I'm honest, I'm not really looking at a player to transfer out. Let me just switch over my window so it seems a bit more so you guys can see what I mean. So I have a lot of money in the bank, which is no issue. The issue is I don't really want anyone in terms of a player. I do have an on-playing goalkeeper, and with a bench boost still in contention, does mean I do want to bring in a goalkeeper, and I haven't got many weeks to do it in. Because we've only got 3 weeks, including this one, to use the chips in. So I am against the, obviously, time and weeks of the game weeks left of this season. I have to use them quickly. I don't want to go to waste. For the free hit, I'll just use that in a game week where it's going to be roughly tough fixtures. This week, I think it's fine. I think I'll see what the fixtures are for the players next week and maybe potentially use it then. But I will have to use bench boost and obviously free hit very quickly. So yeah, in terms of goalkeeper selections, obviously I'll have to check who has the best fixtures at the end of the season because relatively that's possibly the goalkeeper I want to go for to end the season on a high. and checking obviously the fixtures and having a look to see what goalkeeper has very, very nice ones. But in terms of the FDR, it's very mixed. There's not really a team that has. I mean, most teams will have a difficult fixture in there, a nice one, an average one. It's not really a team that really has a great run near this end of the season. I suppose I could go with obviously the one that has kept the most clean sheets. That's obviously Sells. Was on the Forest again, lots to play for this game. But yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this. Obviously, it's a massive thing to consider what goalkeeper to bring in. But I'm not looking to do a player transfer just because I have the bench boost still. If I didn't, then I would look to do a player transfer. But I am against the time now. Literally 3 game weeks left, and I've got 2 chips, so I have to use 2 of them in at least the next 2 game weeks. First comment here from Jellydo. Hello. Thoughts on transfer Luis Diaz to Bowen or Murphy? I mean, Bowen's a good differential, especially if you're chasing rank. Just checking who West Ham have. They have Tottenham at home as well, and we all know what Tottenham are like at the moment. The bottom of the table and not really in.
Oh,
the stream.
Yeah, hi guys. Sorry I'm a bit late. Just had to finish off work. Thought I'd join. But yeah, all good.
Yes, very hot.
Yeah.
It's not an easy work in these conditions, but we'll do it.
Yeah, where were we anyway? Are you just doing your bus team or?
Dustin's already discussed transfer plans and roughly discussed. I am doing a goalkeeping transfer. Just depends on what goalkeeper I choose. I'm gonna think about it in these last few minutes.
You bench boosting this week or?
I'll see. I don't know yet because I've been looking at my team and I'm not sure what to do. If I'm honest,
right. I can maybe
with
help
no
you
double
out.
game. Yeah,
I can maybe help you out. What's your bus team looking like?
I'll switch back over to the other screen. We'll
And
get
you've
to your
got free hit, right?
Yeah, free hit and bench boost. So we'll get to your question again, Jenny. Sorry.
So we'll answer Jenny's question and then we'll move on. But yeah, I think this is a good move. To be fair, I would do Bowen in or Mbermo, who I don't know if you mentioned. I prefer Mbermo over Bowen, but if you're chasing, I think again, yeah, Bowen's a great differential for your mini league.
Yeah, Tottenham at home as well. Good fixture for them. It's a green as well on the FDR for West Ham.
Yeah. I mean, let's quickly discuss your team. I think your team looks fine for this week. You could bench boost. I mean, your bench isn't terrible if you get a goalie in. It's not the worst. It wouldn't be the worst bench boost. I mean, Palace at home, Sarr could get something. Palace have been playing quite well. Nottingham Forest haven't been playing as well, so I don't mind it. You just got the best bet you probably have is to actually do FPL planner and see what your team looks like for 36, 37 as well. And if you feel like your bench has the easiest fixture this week, then you're better off just playing it now, because when you get to game week 37, 38, there's going to be less and less to play for the likes of Palace potentially, or, you know, if the Champions League is done already by then. So you probably want to play it soon.
Yeah, it's a shame double game at 36 is dissolved, because that leaves it in a bit of obviously a big problem. Well, not a big problem, but it's a problem I would like to have avoided with the free hits. Hoping I was able to catch some points on a double game with it.
Yeah,
most people would have used it by now.
So I've just brought up my team on the screen as well. I'll quickly read out the bus team for you guys as well, and then I'll also talk about transfers. So I'm playing a 3-4-3. In goal, I've got Raya. I've got back 3 of Vardiol, Munoz, and Konsa. I've got midfield 4 of Saka, Sarr, Salah, and Rogers. And up front, I've got Mateta, Marmoush, Isak. I've got Marmoush captain at the moment. And on the bench, I've got Areola, Savinho, Burn, and Saliba. I've decided to bench Saliba because of in case there's rotation. Plus, I don't want double Arsenal defense anyway because I've got Raya. Burns got Brighton away, which isn't the best fixture, and Savinho again. I'm not sure he's going to start. We should get some team news and leaks. But if I hear Savinho starts, I could be tempted into potentially even keeping him. But yeah. Currently the plan is Saka out for Mbomo. It's a pretty boring transfer. Going to be a popular transfer, I think, Mbomo in. So yeah, I'm looking at Saka to Mbomo this week. That's the plan. But yeah, I do want to see Savinho leaks. So I'm much on Twitter right now. I'm seeing if there's any leaks. Doesn't look like we're going to get any leaks.
Maybe not. It's Friday night football. There might be a leak. It might come late. That's the thing. Like the leaks usually come 3 quarters into the deadline, or can come the minute before the deadline ends.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to your team, you definitely just doing a goalie transfer, or
I kind of have to, because I won't have much time to. If I want to use the bench boost, I might as well get the most out of it by having a playing goalkeeper in the team. So better to, well, because the team is all right as well, the starting 11 player wise. There's not really, I'm looking at anyone to go for to take out for my team. So yeah, I think this is the right time. I think this is the only time really I can use a transfer to get a playing goalkeeper in, so I can effectively use the bench boost on it. Which
yeah, you might as well bench boost soon. And what did your team look like next week, though?
It looks like it. Well, obviously it looks better. I'm looking at FPL.team right now. Yeah, but yeah, it looks much better than this week. So I probably will bench boost in 36 with a playing goalkeeper, apart from Vardy Marston that you see there.
Well, I was just on Twitter right now, obviously looking through, team news, and I've just seen a tweet which I don't know if you've seen, completely unrelated to FPL, but Rockstar Games has tweeted as a big fan. GTA is now coming out May 26, 2026. So exactly 1 year from now, they've given an actual release date, May 26 next year. Yeah, probably a lot of fans, but it was meant to come out this year, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, they've moved it to May 2026. So yeah, just I'm very off topic, but yeah, it's quite interesting.
It's been a long wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have a date for it now, I believe.
But yeah, I'm gonna do my move, I think, soon, because I pretty know what I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing anyway. But in terms of your team, why don't you bring up the FPL planner and see what it looks like next week, or have you done that?
Yes. If I'm honest, the week after this game is the best time to use the bench boost.
About 36.
Yeah, there's no other week, because the other weeks are terrible fixtures. It's either Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City that the players have got in the team, and it's just not going to work on the bench boost there. So yeah, it looks like a bench boost in 36, and probably use the free hit in 37.
Yeah, I've not seen the 37 fixtures as well.
They're not nice. Yeah, they're not that great. They're not too bad.
There's quite a lot of news that has come out. I mean, still FPL related, but Luis Diaz related. Luis Diaz will hold talks with Liverpool about extending his contract at the end of the season, according to Sky. Has 2 years left on his contract, and representatives are set to discuss new terms with Liverpool. Barcelona have an interest, and he has been linked with Saudi as well. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Okay, yeah, where were we?
So, what goalkeeper do you think is good for the next for the rest of the season.
Well, goalkeeper.
Yeah, goalkeeper wise.
Looking at the fixtures. What, you want to bring in a goalie transfer, right? Let's see, fixtures.
Yeah, for the remaining part of the season. I mean,
if you're going to free hit, when are you going to free hit?
That'll be 37.
Okay, so you don't need a goalie for 37. It's just 35, 36, and 38.
Yeah.
I think Forest decent, but then they do free hit in 36. You're going to free hit in 36 when they got Leicester. Leicester and West Ham could be nice games for Forest. I know they have not been as great recently, but there's not. I mean, Flecken, maybe for the next two. Man United and Ipswich for Flecken.
Yeah, Flecken, good shout.
There's not much really in terms of clean sheets.
It's annoying because all the teams here on the FDR have either a really bad fixture, an easy one, and then an average one, and then a tough one. Like literally, there's no really a team that has green fixtures for the end of the game week. But yeah, Brentford obviously sticks out because they've got Man United and Ipswich in 35 and 36. But Flecken has not kept many clean sheets.
I wouldn't. I don't know, to be fair. But I would use the chips soon. I wouldn't wait till like game week 38, personally.
Yeah, I have to use them before 38, both the chips.
I'm trying to see any team news, but I don't think we're going to get any. And what time is the deadline today? It's 6:30, right?
Yeah, it's a 6:30 deadline.
And who are you captaining as well, by the way? Because it's a tricky one, I think, this week. It's not easy.
Yeah, I did say that as well. Yeah, it's a tricky one to captain. It's currently on Isaac because Brighton's defence isn't the greatest. It's poor. Maybe that will benefit Isaac if he gets an opportunity against Brighton. He usually will score it. So yeah, I think I'll put faith in Isaac this week.
Isaac, interesting. What about Mbeumo against Man United, who just played in the Europa? They may rest some players. I've seen Mbeumo shouts as well.
Yeah, Mbeumo's a good shot. I think I would prefer Wissa, even though Mbeumo's on penalties.
Yeah.
But I feel like Wissa gets more, or recently has got more of the goals and the attack and returns than Mbeumo has. But that could easily happen in, obviously, the Man United game. We've seen in the past in Mbeumo score massive against them and get double hauls. And that's when they're in a less worse condition, let's say, than they are now. And they're currently in the table. And yeah, they have just played against Atletico Bilbao as well. So yeah, it'd be a fresh Brentford. Well, not a 100% fresh one, but more fresh than Man United team. And I think might be rotation with Man United. So yeah, Burma's a good shout. Other than that, I don't know who else could be. I mean, Marmoush could be a good one against Wolves at home.
Yeah, I'm on Marmoush at the moment, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, realistically, he's been a bit quiet. I mean, he scored a hat-trick in 25, but other than that, it's been no goals or one goal in between blanks. But with you, he's going to play 90 minutes because of absent Haaland. So he's got a lot of time to score against Wolves. But yeah, captaincy is a tricky one. I mean, Salah, is it really worth going for captaincy over Salah now that Liverpool won the Premier League officially?
Yeah, that's the thing. What do you expect from that Liverpool game? Because Liverpool have won the league. They don't need to play for anything really. I mean, Salah's still playing for records, and I think he wants to he needs 2 to break the assist record. But Chelsea have looked a bit better defensively recently. Chelsea have everything to play for with Champions League. Could be a tight game, and even if Liverpool do win, I don't expect Liverpool to win 3-4-0. It might be a 1-0 or it will be a tight game. So I'm not sure how many returns Salah can get. Maybe one return. So it's either a tricky one.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because Salah only has records to really play for. I think he'll obviously want to score. Obviously, but it's just how many you see goal-wise scoring in that game. Because Chelsea looked really good last game week. I think that's the best I've seen them in ages since the start of the season when they were really good. I'm intrigued to know if they keep that up against Liverpool. But captaincy, I'm not sure with Salah. But
I've seen some rumors about KDB being benched. Don't know how accurate that is.
Yeah, I used to have KDB. I had him in double game week.
So let me show you my plans actually on my transfers page, because I've got 2 ways I can do this. So my current plan is Saka out for Mbumo, which standard leaves me with 3 million in the bank. Or what I can do is this instead: Savinho out to Mbumo, and then who else? Mateta out for Wissa. Leaves me with 0.1. He's a -4 hit. I can get in Mbumo and Wissa and keep hold of Saka for game week 38 potentially, or 37 against Newcastle at home, which I don't know, but it's one suggestion I could do. But would you do the -4, Jordan, or would you just do Saka out for Mbumo for free and keep Mateta for this week?
Yeah, I'll do the free option, Saka to Mbumo.
Oh, sure. You couldn't see my screen this whole time.
Sorry, I was on another screen. I'll probably do that and keep
Mateta for another week against Forest rather than take the hit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do that instead of taking it. I mean, Mateta, as far as I know, he's gonna have minutes. Possibly he's on penalties too. So if there's a penalty involved, he will take. So I'll probably keep him for this week and save the -4.
Yeah, I'm thinking to save the -4. I mean, it would just to be aggressive, bringing in Brentford assets. Good fixture against Man United is a green fixture actually for them. But I think probably makes sense to avoid the hits. But I'm gonna do my move. I think Saka out, Mbumo in. Hold on, let me reset what's going on. Hold on. Let me do that again. Okay, make transfers. There you go. Saka out and Mbumo in for free. I will confirm that. That's done. And Mbumo will be starting in my team. I'll probably put the vice on Mbumo. And I'll captain Marmoush. So I think I'm backing against Salah this week. I hope it didn't come back to sort of go against me. But that's what I'm doing, I think.
I think it's a good week for captains because there's not going to be a majority captain this week. It's going to be very split, I think, depending on who we have in our teams.
Yep. I mean, Salah could go and get a couple of goals. And if he gets a penalty, he gets bonus points. So, that is always a risk. I think Salah will still be highly captained, maybe 130% EO or something like that. But we'll have to see. Owamara with a comment, currently on 1.5 million, chasing ranks. Thoughts on Marina to Bowen and Evan Nilsson to Vardy with 2 free transfers. I already have Wissa and Isak. I like the Bowen transfer if you're chasing. Definitely would do that. Not sure I'd do Vardy though. But not keen on Vardy. I'd rather just bring in a Marmoush or maybe captain Marmoush as a bit of a differential, possibly. What do you think of Leicester? I mean, who have they got? They got Southampton at home, to be fair.
Yeah, 2 relegated teams against each other. Could be great as a differential against Southampton.
Could be.
Yeah, because he's not really owned.
Jenny says start Barnes or Suchek. Start Barnes for sure. Murphy, Eze, or Rogers to Bowen and bench who? Probably Eze. Probably Eze to the one I'd get rid of. And I'd bench. Tough one.
Probably have to bench Rogers.
Yeah.
As Tottenham.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You want to play all three. Maybe try play a 3-5-2 formation, but probably out of those you want to bench Rogers, I think. But I don't like benching Rogers this week. Isak has one goal in 5 games against Brighton. Just saying, a little stat there.
Yeah, and doesn't have the greatest record against Brighton.
Thoughts on Wood to Wissa? Yes, I like this move. I think Wissa's a good pick this week, and even next week. I think Wissa's a great pick because Brentford have Ipswich away next week, so you get 2 nice fixtures. Wissa, a bit of a differential as well. So I don't hate Wissa because I think he's on. How many goals has Wissa scored? I think he's like 14, 15 goals. I think maybe more.
He's actually surprised.
17 goals.
Yeah.
Wow. And Boomer has 18.
So that's 35 goals combined.
Yeah, that's impressive. Obviously, Salah's at the top with 28. You got Isak with 22 Premier League goals. Haaland's on 21. You got Chris Wood on 19, and you've got Mbeumo on 18, and then Wissa's 17. So they're not far away. You know, the likes of, Haaland and Isak. Even Chris Wood is only a couple away now.
Oh yeah, it doesn't feel like Wissa's scored that many.
Yeah, 17 goals.
Brentford have scored a lot of goals this season.
Yep. Well, I mean, when Brentford score, it's normally one of Wissa or Mbeumo, and they have scored 60 odd goals, I think. Not far off the likes of Arsenal and Man City. But yeah, man. Soul Searcher said, "Good luck, lads," and thanks. And Jenny also said, "Thanks, guys. Have a great week." Yeah. Thank you to you guys as well. Have a great if you're gonna tune out. Have a good weekend. Obviously, bank holiday weekend as well. So enjoy everyone that extra little day we've got off. But yeah, I'm just looking at the fixtures as well now. Man City played today, don't they? Friday night football.
Yeah, Wolves at home at the Etihad.
Yeah. Don't know how I feel about captaincy with Marmoush because I'll know how he's done after today.
Yeah, it'd be straight away. First game, nerves. Waiting to see who else does well, captain-wise. Having a look at it now, I might change my captain.
Who to?
Just considering it now, I might change to Mbeumo.
Yeah, interesting. I think he's a decent shout as well.
Yeah, just thinking about it, Man United, even though they look great against Atletico, I just know when it comes to Premier League, it just utterly flops. So it's slightly like a no-brainer because you can't expect much from Man United. And Brentford have just beaten Nottingham Forest 2-0. Nottingham Forest are a much better team than Man United are. And they've got a home fixture against them. And plus, the Man United haven't got nothing to play for. They don't really care with the Premier League, where they are in the table. It's mostly just for the pride and finishing as high as they can in the table. And Brentford will like to be sort of ripping up the script. I think and Burma captains is slightly better than the Isaac one.
Yeah, I like Burma as a captain.
Yeah,
Bit different.
Plus, you get more points for a goal if it does come from midfielder too.
Yeah, and you're chasing at the moment as well, so
yeah, I'm chasing
not a bad thing.
Not really going well, the chasing. I think I'm like slowly losing the chase. In terms of the rank, hasn't really gone up. It's gone sort of not really gone up or down. It's sort of stayed where I am. It needs something massive though for me to even reach the top 1 mil. Like, I need something extraordinary from someone.
Yeah.
If it could come from like a, I don't even know who it could come from. Honestly, I think it would have to be probably Barnes or Burma doing something huge for me. Unless Cunha's ownership is 13. Maybe Cunha doing something big. If those three do massive for me this week, then I'll be very happy. But I'm not looking that positive for my team this week.
I mean, looking at my team, I'm quite happy with it. I don't know who else I would want in. Maybe a Bowen instead of Sarr. Wissa, I think, is a good shout as well. If you're risking it, you want to take a hit. I think Wissa's a nice one to go for.
Yeah, Wissa, definitely. It's definitely a great one. That's a good shout. Scored against Nottingham Forest yesterday.
Yeah, you're just consistently getting goals, Wissa.
Yeah, he's just in the right place at the right time. It works well having Mbeumo and Wissa in your team. I mean, you could have had Wissa and Mbeumo in your team, and you'd be rocking with 35 goals combined total. And points wise, you're sailing if you've had Mbeumo, Wissa, and Salah from the beginning of game week 1.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't obviously here. I wasn't here last, obviously, game week. Yeah, knee jerk, sorry. Last stream, I missed it. Obviously, it was a big week for me as well. Just quickly touch on that on my free hit. I'm sure you covered it on my behalf. Yeah, I got 88 points. As you know, it was a pretty big green arrow. I think I was in 500k, roughly. Now I'm about 375. So I've made good progress last week. Can I get into the top 200, maybe 150k? We'll have to see. I need another big week. Obviously, no more chips left. I've got no chips, but I think the way I've played it, I'm glad I've played the chips quite early because then there's no more doubles left. There's no more blanks left. So I think I've got maximum sort of usage out of them as I can. Because obviously there was always that risk of that double in 36 not happening, obviously with Man City winning and Palace winning as well. I think if Forest went through, maybe there might have been a double. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Yeah, that's the blow. So you really know you have to rely on differentials and hope that your captain does well to get your rank into the top 100k.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I am torn between Mbeumo and Marmoush. I think it's 50-50 between those. Even Salah, I know I said Liverpool don't technically have much to play for, but knowing Salah, the type of player he is, he will want to break those records and get as many goals and assists in these last 4 games. So I wouldn't be surprised if Salah does get a goal or even a goal and an assist because he is still playing for those records. But obviously, there's nothing to play for Liverpool, really. It's just as trying to get records now for Salah.
Yeah, and his team most likely will try their best to help him. You might see him providing more balls towards Salah, just for that's for that purpose of breaking records and extending his eccentric form this season.
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll see another Salah another season outperform himself this season because this is the best he's done for Liverpool. And
yeah, I mean, in the Premier League, like no one's. I mean, I think he's on 45 or no 46 goals and assists in the Premier League combined, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's got 20. Is it 28 goals, 17 assists or 18 assists? 28 goals and 18 assists.
So yeah, it's going to be really tough to beat that.
Yeah, so he's on 46, which is the record in terms of combined goals and assists. I think the record was 45. He just broke that. He also needs one more, I think, to either break or equal Alan Shearer's record. But that wasn't in a 42 game season. Obviously, the Premier League used to be 42 games. So he's going for that now, which he looks like he's going to break. I think he needs one more to break it. So yeah, it is. I mean, it's what a season from Salah.
Yeah, it's going to be surprised if he doesn't break that record.
Another comment from Roman. Thoughts on doing Sarr and Saka to Mbumo and Bowen for 2 free transfers? Yeah, great moves. I'd definitely do both.
Yeah, because you can captain in Burmo, and then you got Bowen as a differential against Tottenham.
Yeah, I like those moves. Hi guys, do you think there's much of a difference between Mbumo and Wissa? And would you guys start Munoz over any of Shah, Saliba, or Vardiol? I would probably start Vardiol still, because I think there's still a chance of a clean sheet for Man City. Defensively, I think they looked a lot better recently. But I like Munoz for the threat. In terms of the difference between Mbumo and Wissa, if I had to pick one, I still would go for Mbumo because he's on pens. But I do think Wissa's a great shout, but I'd lean towards Mbumo because he's on pens.
Yeah, I think that is literally the only difference between them, is because Mbumo is on penalties. As we've said, the total goals they've both scored, there's only 1 goal difference between them. So there's not really much difference in terms of how many goals they've scored against teams. So yeah, it does literally, the upper edge goes to Mbumo for penalty taker over Wissa. But hard to read a game when it comes to both of them, because either one could have a blank and the other one could score. Like we saw yesterday when Mbumo blanked, but Wissa managed to score the goal.
Q braces. Raya, Areola, Vardio, Saliba, Munoz, Livramento, Konza, Salah, Saka, Sarr, Eze, Rogers, Isak, Mamouche, Evan Nilsson. 3 free transfers, so you're in a good position. I like Saka to Mbumo for 1 free transfer, in my opinion. I also like Evan Nilsson to Wissa. And maybe a Sarr or an Eze, either one to Bowen. So I think there's some moves there you can make.
Yeah, there's some decent moves there for the free transfers. Hopefully you have enough money for that.
Yeah, comment here as well from Elika. Do you guys think Trossard will be rested for PSG? Yeah, it's an interesting one because we know Thomas Partey is back for that second leg. He'll probably go back to midfield, which means Marino will play up front again at the 9. So Trossard could play, because I don't expect Trossard to start as the 9. I don't expect Trossard to start against the second leg in PSG. I think Marino will go back up front. Partey will go in the midfield. So definitely could get minutes, Trossard. But I'm not keen on playing any Arsenal assets, to be honest, this week. The only one I'd play is a goalie. But even then, I don't expect a clean sheet from Arsenal. I think Bournemouth will score. There'll be a lot of rotation for Arsenal because they're only 1-0 down. They'll still believe they're in the game. They'll still believe they can go to PSG and get a win. So they're going to rest players for that. Players couldn't come off early. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to, in terms of FPL, having Arsenal assets, because I just don't think they're worth it. And Saka, I don't think it will start. Yeah, we could get quite a lot of rotation, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only thing Arsenal have to play for as well. And considering they're down 1-0, have to play against the team PSG in their stadium, it's going to be a massive ask for them. So they'll be definitely heavily resting on those key players for that game. That's the last thing for them. It's that or nothing. That's great importance, that game. Weird game, though, because the goal came so early, about 6 minutes. And the rest of the game was pretty much offside goal for Arsenal, and then possibly almost clear chances for PSG to equalise more than that 1-0. Could have been 3-0. So actually, that 1-0 was quite generous for Arsenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously 20 minutes left of the deadline, so it's fast approaching. That does mean, obviously, I will have to get a move on and decide what I am going to do. But yeah, I think I do like the Flecken shout you mentioned, Huss. In terms of the fixtures, the next two, it makes sense for clean sheets chances. Yeah, I think I'm looking towards Flecken as my free transfer, and then obviously bench boost after this game week 36, and then free hit at 37 as the current plan. Not as exciting.
Wait, what's the game week 37 fixtures looking like? I don't think they're great either. Let's see. 37 standout fixtures. Everton, Southampton. I don't think that's great. There's not really any great fixtures. I don't know who you're going to target to if you look at the fixtures in 37. There's no one really you can triple up on.
Yeah, it might be a week where I just go completely off.
I think this week might be better, if I'm being honest, to free hit. Because what you could do this week, you can bring in triple Brentford against United. You could do triple. I mean, not really any great teams you want to triple up on, but you can go double. I don't know. West Ham. You could bring a Bowen on a free hit this week because that's very different. Get rid of your Arsenal players. Just a shout because there's not great fixtures left for a free hit. I don't think.
No, I mean, in terms of fixtures this week, I mean, because of obviously that's playing against Southampton. There's not really any players I'd want from that, and that's the kind of fixtures I'd want to target for teams like, like obviously Everton, who have Southampton in game week 37, and
again, who would you really want from Everton? Predicting their goal scorers.
But that's the thing. It would have to be completely wild. This free hit. It would probably have to be like someone like Beto, who no one will ever pick. But if there's a chance that Beto could score in that game, then I'll take it with the free hit.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think this week's a bad shout though. I know it's quite late now. In terms of planning.
Yeah, it's quite late to plan that. I don't think I'd want to plan it 17 minutes before a deadline because I think I'd either have so many cross changes that I wouldn't be prepared for it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it is a massive blow. A double game 36 is no longer a double. I mean, I was really excited and looking forward to using a free hit in that week.
Yeah, that was only provisional. It was rumours potentially could be a double in 36. But yeah, you probably regret not free hitting this week or the week that just went because it was a great week for. I mean, you still done decent 68 points. But
I was going to say, I think if I did free hit, I would have less points than what I had this blank game week without the free hit. I sort of with the free hit draft I made, I had less points than the one I got from non-free hitting. So
I just think the free hit this week or the game week 35 went amazingly. Like couldn't have gone any better really. Everyone I bought in pretty much returned the whole defense. Sessegnon, Cunha had a good one. You know, Trippier had a 15-pointer, which I was so close to going remember last minute I said I might get Trippier in, but Trippier and Sanchez, which would have given me an extra 12 points. The funny thing is, if I swapped out Pope and Cucurella and I had Sanchez and Trippier, I would have had an extra 12 points, which would have been 100 points for me this week.
So triple digit week.
That one move, I would have had 100 pointer, but a bit disappointing.
Yeah, that makes the change.
Start Bruno or Murphy. Is that Bruno Fernandes or Bruno G? If it's Bruno Fernandes, I'll start Murphy, I think. And if it's Bruno G, I still will start Murphy. So, yeah. I might as well play Shaw instead of Saliba then. Shaw also has good goal threat. Yeah. I just don't trust Arsenal to keep a clean sheet this week. Wouldn't be surprised if they concede. And Saliba could start. I wouldn't be surprised if Saliba does start, but there will be mass rotation because the league is done. Arsenal's whole season hinges in that game against PSG.
Yeah, surprising to see Shaw is only 4% owned. But the amount of attack and returns he's recently had, I thought his ownership would be slightly higher.
I actually think you should bench boost this week, Looking at your team.
I don't really want bench boost to Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest, though, because I don't see Munoz keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, but you could get an attack and return, and Forest have, I think they've got like 3 losses in their last 4. And Palace have been getting goals. Wouldn't surprise me. They just got to weigh it up if it's a better week.
Yeah, especially with Man City away. I mean, yeah, the possible attack and return there, but what's the chances of that attack and return coming from Munoz and Ain't Nuri? It's just those fixtures don't appeal to me that they'll get much from them. And it might be like a 2-pointer from them individually in Saar against Nottingham Forest. And hasn't had a goal since 28 either.
Yeah.
Unless I took him out for, let's say, a Bowen, but I would have an non-playing goalkeeper still. Yeah, I just don't think it's the right time for bench boost. So the one I envision, not the right moment.
Fairs.
I wish I did bench boost though in the blank game because that would have been huge from Mbeumo's 18-pointer and Hoyson's clean sheet. Just that alone made up for the non-playing goalkeeper and obviously the other player on the bench. I can't remember, but yeah, that was the best week to bench boosting. I think if I chose it, that would have taken me near 100 points.
But yeah, so any last minute team news? Don't think we're going to get any. I expect mostly the likes from Marmoush, etc., to start. Just feel like Salah might punish us non-captainers. Would not be surprised.
I mean, it won't be as harsh, effective ownership-wise for Salah to do well this week. Well, it'd be interesting to see how many people captain Salah, especially after seeing what Chelsea done last week, and obviously Liverpool winning the Premier League. Maybe that will put people off of captaincy, and it's a tough fixture. Chelsea will fight to the end for that win.
Yeah, it could be a low scoring one. That's why I've sort of gone against Salah. But
yeah,
Wolves aren't an easy game. Wolves have won 6 in a row. They're on a 6-win streak, and they're playing Man City tonight. So that's what's making me think as well. Do I go Marmoush? But Man City need to win as well.
Yeah, you would expect that win streak to come to an end now, because that many wins in a row is almost expecting a draw or loss coming. But in the reverse fixture, they did lose to Man City 2-1.
Yeah,
and that was a home one though, home fixture for obviously Wolves. But they are playing the Etihad, so it's going to be tough, I think, playing at their home ground. I do think Wolves won't get a draw or win. But strange things have happened. Man City haven't been the best they have in the past, so there's always that could possibly happen.
Yeah. Fairs.
But I think that's what makes Cunha a good pick for this week, because not many people will embrace Captain Cunha.
Cunha, interesting for us to have.
Yeah,
Cunha, but obviously I've got rid of Cunha. He was on my free hit team, did really well.
Yeah, captain for my team, number 3 team, paid off massively in the end.
But yeah, I'm pretty locked in now. Yeah. So Marmoush or Mbumo, who do I go to? I think I'm going to stick on Marmoush. It's a close one. I think Mbumo is a good choice this week. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. In terms of fixtures as well, I can bring up the fixtures, maybe do some score predictions.
I was saying that I have to do my transfer.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Share my screen.
I'll let you share your screen and do your moves.
But yeah, it's come to that moment. Transfers. Yeah, it looks like I'm bringing in Flecken.
Flecken.
Yeah, so yeah, Vardy master out for Flecken for 1-3 transfer. And it's done. Let me just share the other screen so you can see the updated team. Oh, there you go. I think I still would play Pickford against Ipswich at home and keep Flecken on the bench for this week. But yeah, that's team locked in Burma captain. And Flecken in for Vardy Marston.
Okay. Nice one. Let's do some score predictions.
Yeah, I wish I wrote the score predictions down last week because I got a lot of them correct in the previous fixture prediction.
All right, just bear with me. Let's go tonight's game. City at home to Wolves. Wolves, I think, are on a 6-win streak. Man City need to win as well. Champions League is pretty interesting at the moment. Man City currently sitting 4th. So, yeah, 2 teams sort of in form. Man City, I think 4 wins in their last 5. How do you see this one going, Jordan?
Yeah, I can see it go Man City's way. It's important for their championship qualification to stay there, remain there. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win against Man City. Oh, against Wolves, sorry. 2-0 win to Man City.
I'm going to go with the same score, I think. I'll go 2-1 Man City. I think Wolves might get 1 goal. But yeah, I'll go 2-1 City. Moving on to Aston Villa v Fulham. Again, Aston Villa given a little bit of hope after Nottingham Forest lost 2-0 against Brentford. So now they're only 3 points behind Forest, which is mad because Forest were looking like they could even get second at one point. Now 6th. 3 losses in the last 5 for Forest. Aston Villa can sort of close a gap on them. Do you see Aston Villa getting the win here against Fulham? Because Fulham are only 6 points behind Villa in 8th.
Yeah, this is a hard one to call. 2 teams that are relatively good. I feel like they'll cancel each other out. I think maybe a 1-1. I don't see a winner in this fixture.
Okay. I'm going to go for a Villa win, I think. I think Villa will get the 3 points. I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. Moving on to Everton Ipswich. Again, not really playing much to play for. Everton are safe. Ipswich are relegated as well now. Yeah, how do you see this one going?
Yeah, not much to play for. Everton are going to have fun as much as Ipswich are. I'll probably go for Everton win 1-0 to Everton.
Okay. I'll go 1-1 for that one. Next up, we've got Leicester at home to Southampton. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, again, yeah, this is a fight for just pride. Possibly a Leicester win. They haven't been the greatest in terms of obviously goals scored for them, but I will go 2-1 Leicester.
Okay. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, I think, on this one. Don't really see it being a great game, but 2 teams that are already relegated. Could be goals, but I'll go 1-1. Next up, we've got Arsenal at home to Bournemouth. Again, Arsenal are pretty much secured to get Champions League football. We expect rotation probably from Arsenal. Bournemouth tailed off a bit. They were having a pretty good start to this. They've had a great season, to be fair, but only one win in the last 5 now. They're now 10th, 1 point behind Brighton. How do you see this one going, Jordan? Not Fulham, Bournemouth v Arsenal.
Yeah, tough game, I think, for both. I also still want to get as high as they can in points, and Bournemouth want to cause chaos. In terms of score, I think 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Arsenal will be looking at second leg PSG. They're going to rotate. I expect Bournemouth to get a point from this one. So I'll go 1-1. Moving on to Sunday's fixtures. First up, we've got Brentford at home to Man United. Man United, again, might, similar to Arsenal, rotate. I know Man United have a 3-0 lead. But you'd expect them to rest players. Again, Man United don't have much to play for, really, as well. So how do you see this one going?
Yeah, again, this is looking like a Brentford win. I don't really see Man United doing much against them in the Premier League, especially where they are on the table. So I've got to go for a big win for Brentford, 3-0 to them.
Wow. That's interesting. I'm going to go for a Brentford win as well, but I think it'll be close. So I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford. Next up, Brighton at home to Newcastle. This is an important game for Newcastle in their hopes for Champions League football. They're currently sitting, let's have a look, third, 62 points. They need to win to stay third, because especially if Man City win tonight. And yeah, how do you see this one going against Brighton, who Brighton have 1 win in their last 5 as well, so not the best of form.
Yeah, they've not been that great in the last 5, and they've let in quite a few goals, Brighton, especially leading 2 against a struggling Leicester in that 2-2 draw. So I'm going to put the win on Newcastle in this one. I think they need it, obviously, more than Brighton will, and I think they'll fight for it more than Brighton will, even though it's a away fixture. So I'm going to go, I think, 3-1 to Newcastle. Away
3-1.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle, I think. I'm going to back the clean sheet. Next up as well, we've got West Ham against Spurs. Spurs won 3-1 in their Europa game. They've not been great after European matches. It is an away game for them as well against West Ham. How do you see this one going, Jordan?
Yeah, I think this one is easy. Like we've mentioned before, whenever Spurs have another competition away from Premier League, they never really do well after, obviously, returning to Premier League. So I'm going to say a West Ham win, and I won't be shocked if they do score at least 3 against Spurs, and the score being 3-0, because they are utterly terrible record. Spurs. Bowen hat-trick.
Oh, so what's the score you're going for?
3-0, and possibly Bowen scoring a hat-trick for those who have him in the team.
I don't see a Bowen hat-trick, but I do see. I mean, West Ham have been pretty terrible as well. I think both teams have been poor this season. Yeah. I'm not been impressed with West Ham, but I think they might get something. I'll go with a 2-1 West Ham win. Moving on to Super Sunday, possibly the biggest game of the weekend. I know, again, not much to play for Liverpool. There's a lot to play for Chelsea, because, again, they're another team that need to win for the Champions League hopes. Chelsea got a big boost after Forest losing. They've got back-to-back wins, Chelsea, recently. So 3 wins in 5 for them. How do you see this going for Newcastle? Chelsea against Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool have secured the title. How much do you think that plays a part?
Yeah, it's a hard one to call this one, because even before Liverpool officially won the title, they were a bit more complacent with their obviously their play style, and we normally did see them. And obviously Chelsea last week were the best I've seen them since the first part of the season. I won't be surprised if Chelsea get something from this, realistically a draw, pushing a win. But I think 2-2 Chelsea and Liverpool.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I was going to go back something similar, actually. I was thinking a draw as well because Liverpool have wrapped the league up. They don't need to go all out for a win. Chelsea do need to go all out. So I'm going to go for a draw, maybe 2-2 as well. And then finally, Monday Night Football. Again, this is a big one. Forest away to Palace at home. Not an easy game for Forest. Palace have been in decent form. Or in terms of winning, obviously, in the FA Cup. But in the Premier League, dipped off recently, 1 win in 5. But Forest have 2 wins in 5 as well. So both teams need a big win. Mainly Forest, I think, especially chasing Champions League. Because if Chelsea pick up something against Liverpool, if Chelsea drop points against Liverpool, Forest can go back above them. So it is a big one for Forest, who have been really good so far this season. Do you expect them to get back to winning ways, or can Palace cause an upset potentially?
Yeah, because obviously Chris Vesca are going to try and rip up the script, but Nottingham Forest desperately need this, and I think with Chris Wood as well back in the team, they should get that win. I mean, he's a key importance, obviously, not the Forest's goals, as he's a top goal scorer for them. And I don't really put my money on anyone else really scoring for them in a game like this. So, yeah, I think Nottingham Forest desperately need it, and they'll be more hungry for that game, hopefully, as it does mean championship qualification if they don't win it or not. I'm going to go with Nottingham Forest win, but I don't think there'll be much in it. It'll probably be like 1-0, I think, to Nottingham Forest.
I'm on a back against Forest in this one. I think they're sort of under pressure now. I can see Palace getting a win on this one. I'm going to go 2-1 Palace, which will put even more pressure on Forest heading into the last 3 games. But Forest do have the easiest fixture run in the last 4 compared to Chelsea, who have sort of the toughest run. So Forest can still get top 5, but I think they may lose this one against Palace. But we'll see on Monday Night Football. Should be a good one. But yeah, guys, that's the deadline over anyway. We just missed the deadline by a couple of minutes. So hopefully you guys have locked in your teams. I'm just looking at my one. Yeah, my team's done, locked in. Hopefully you've done all your moves. Hopefully you guys get a green arrow this week as well. Thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button as always. Hit subscribe as well. And we're back again on Sunday evening to do an knee-jerk stream to discuss how it's gone. But yeah, anything else you'd like to add, Jordan?
Yeah, it should be fun after obviously Chelsea, Liverpool. Obviously they've been knee-jerks. Yeah, well, yeah, both of us are done. But yeah, obviously until then, take care. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend, especially the Monday off. And yeah, we'll see you Sunday for knee-jerk to see what's happened.